Yes, people, welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to Malenga TV, or Lenga TV as it's called. Make sure you like, share, subscribe. And yeah, we're getting into the weekend review, all of the results from the various games on the weekend. And listen, some shock results, some crucial key wins for some teams, and we're going to get into it, starting with the game that kicked us off this weekend. Was dubbed the biggest game of the weekend, and that was Manchester City versus Liverpool. Game ended 1-1, goals from Haaland, goals from Trent Alexander-Arnold for Liverpool. And yeah, it was pretty much you could say it was a stalemate in certain moments. I think there was a moment Manchester City could have gone forward. They had a goal disallowed, correctly so. It's kind of soft, but it was a foul. In the end, Liverpool got stuck into the game, and eventually they got a goal, and the game ended 2-1. The game ended 1-1. 2-1. The game ended 1-1, and yeah, it was a points drop for both sides, but it was definitely a point game for Arsenal, who took advantage of just slip from both sides. And listen, Kai Havertz coming in clutch at the last moment, Bukayo Saka assist, and listen, it was a big goal for Kai Havertz, big goal for Arsenal. Gives them that push, gives them that impetus, takes them top of the league. There's a goal that took them practically top of the league. And yeah, fair play to Arsenal. Stacking got stacking, and much as they didn't play well, in the end they were able to come up with a crucial result, and they got the result. In the other game of the weekend, I don't know if we can call this one a shock, but Newcastle beat Chelsea 4. I think the result is a shock. Newcastle beat Chelsea 4-1. If you want to know my thoughts about that game, I'll leave a link in the description for my match reaction and what I had to say just following the game. But yeah, poor result for Chelsea, but great result for Newcastle following their injuries, and they've going through a lot. But listen, goals from Isak coming back from injuries, goals from Lascelles, Joe Linton, and a great finish from Anthony Gordon. I think if you're a young striker learning the game, that's a very, very well taken goal. The way he times his run perfectly, gets it, puts it on his favorite right foot, cuts in, bang, great goal from Anthony Gordon. And yeah, Chelsea goal from Raheem Sterling from a free kick. Not really known for taking the free kicks, but yeah, it was a very well taken free kick, and a good goal for Raheem Sterling. Newcastle 4, Chelsea 1. The other games on the weekend, we saw Luton Town play host to Crystal Palace. They won 2-0. Goals from Mengi and Brown. Michael Olise scored a wonderful goal as well, equalizing at the time for Crystal Palace. It was a very, very indifferent result. It was a good result for him. It was good for him coming back from injury, and had his injury concerns, the whole Chelsea transfer saga. Yeah, you could see why Palace were very desperate to keep him. How long they're gonna keep him, though, if he keeps performing like this, we won't know. But it was a well-taken goal. It was good for him. It was good for his confidence, obviously, coming back from injury. But not enough on the day. Luton Town, very, very big result for them. They've been showing a lot of fight in the last few games. The Liverpool draw, the few weeks ago they beat Everton as well, 2-1 away from home. So listen, they've been showing a little bit of fight. They know to say that they're probably one of the teams that's going to go down, but right now they're showing that they're not going to go down that fight. So credit to Luton Town. One of the other games over the weekend was Burnley taking on West Ham, and I thought Burnley was very, very unlucky because they dominated that game. They played well from start to finish. They dominated that game. They should have left with more than just one goal. They probably should have had 2 at some point. Dominated that game, but unfortunately, if you lose concentration in the last minute, it's always going to be costly. They lost the game 2-1. Jay Rodriguez scoring from the spot. Then West Ham brought on Mohamed Kudus. He changed the game. Literally changed the game. Created a chance, crossed it into the box, on goal from John O'Shea, and then in the end, last minute as well, crosses it into the box, puts it on a plate, Suchek, 2-1, and more like a smash and grab for West Ham. So it was a good result for West Ham, not really for Burnley, because they needed the points, they needed the result, but unfortunately it kind of slipped away from them for the last minute. So credit to West Ham for that result, and yeah, tough luck for Burnley. The other games on the weekend, so Bournemouth take on Sheffield United. They beat Sheffield United 3-1. Goals from I hope I can get this name right. Tavernier. Yeah, goals from Tavernier. He scored 2 goals, and then another one from Justin Kluivert, coming off a horrible mistake from the goalkeeper. I don't know what he's doing there. Doesn't get to the ball. Foot goes over the ball. And fair play to Kluivert. I mean, he takes it first time, knows where the goal is, puts it in the back of the net. And yeah, they won that game 3-1. Could have been more because they played very well. And McBurney scoring, I think it was a penalty in the last minute as well. So, they beat Sheffield United 3-1. Then in the other games of the weekend on Saturday, did we get other games? No, Nottingham Forest 2, Brighton 3 as well. Brighton played very well. Goals from João Pedro, scoring 2 goals, and the other goal was scored by. I'm trying to jog my memory. Let me try to jog my memory. João Pedro and can't remember the person who scored, but Anthony Langa scoring for Brighton, and is it Gibbs White who scored from the spot? Yeah, Gibbs White scored from the spot against Nottingham Forest. But yeah, wasn't enough at the end of the day to beat a Brighton side. Brighton was very, very, very good on that day. I don't know, Lewis Dunk in the end get himself stupidly sent off. He'll be suspended for the next couple of games for them. I mean, you don't want to be losing key players, especially when they've got a lot of injuries out. They still have a lot of injuries, Brighton, by the way. CCO's still not yet back. Welbeck's still not yet back. They've got a couple of injuries, and to be having players like Lewis Dunk that are fit, getting themselves needlessly sent off like that, probably the downside on the game, but eventually they got the result, and that was good for them. So Brighton beating Sheffield United 3-1, and that was the games on Saturday. Going into Sunday, we had 2 games on Sunday. The first game that kicked off was Aston Villa versus Spurs. I thought Spurs was unlucky. I thought they played particularly well in this game. Lost the game 2-1 to Aston Villa. They scored a goal through Giovanni Lo Celso. Pau Torres just on the stroke of halftime equalizing, making the game 1-1. And then yeah, they took it on. They took on the game, and they ended up. Sorry for the breakup play, but we're back. So we were to pick off where we were carrying off. Yeah, Pau Torres scoring on the stroke of halftime, getting Villa 1-1 into halftime. Then in the second half, Tottenham played well again, but Aston Villa got the crucial goal. Great one-touch football. Ollie Watkins into Tillemans back into Ollie Watkins. One touch, back of the net, and then Aston Villa took the lead, and it was 2-1. And even from them, Tottenham kept on pushing. They kept on pressing. They had the ball in the back of the net 3 times. Son Heung-min was probably the most unlucky player on the day. Had the ball in the net 3 times, and all 3 times it was offside. And it was a very unfortunate result for Tottenham. But yeah, good result for Aston Villa again. Pushed them into the top 4, took them above Tottenham as well, coincidentally. So it was a good result for Aston Villa. Then in the other game on Sunday, Manchester United took on Everton. Manchester United were victors on the day, 3-0. I mean, this image right here will speak for itself. I mean, what a goal from Garnacho. I mean, he probably scored the best overhead kick in the entire Premier League era. But it's up for debate. It's up for the debate, with the Rooney comparison. I thought Benteke's against Liverpool as well was another good mention. But what a goal from Garnacho. I mean, he got the ball rolling. And for the fact that he did that 3 minutes into the game was just ridiculous. What a great goal. And then they had goals from Rashford. It was a penalty on Martial. It was a foul on Martial from Ashley Young. They got the penalty. Rashford scored. Great pen as well. Needed that for his confidence. And then, Martial got his customary goal against Everton. Apparently, he scored about 9 goals against them. So they're probably his favorite opponents. And United picking up a much needed win. Were not great for most of the first half. I think they were quite shaky, but in the second half they took full control, and in the end they got the results. Of fair play to Man United. And then in the last game of the weekend, it was Fulham taking on Wolves. Fulham were the victors 3-2. They got the early lead from Alexi Iwobi. Cunha equalized for Wolves. And then they got a penalty. I didn't think that was a penalty. I thought the second penalty was very, very soft. Fulham took the lead. Williams scoring the penalty. And then, Wolves got themselves back into the game with a penalty of their own, scored by Hwang, or the Korean guy, as Pep calls him. And he made it 2-2. And for the most part, it looked like it was going to end 2-2. But last minute, they got another penalty. I think it was Robinson who was fouled. It was a foul, was a penalty. And William got the second goal, and he got the crucial and the winning goal, and that gave Fulham the win. So they won the game 3-2 in the end. So after match week 13, this is how the table looks. We got Arsenal on top with 30 points. Manchester City close second with 29. Liverpool 28. Aston Villa with 28. Tottenham in 5th with 26 points. Man United in 6th with 24 points. Newcastle in 7th with 23. Brighton in 8th with 22, West Ham in 9th with 20, and Chelsea rounding up the top 10 with 16 points. Then in 11th, Brentford, just on the same number of points, same number of goals with Chelsea, also on 16 points. Wolves, point behind Chelsea with 15. Crystal Palace, point behind Chelsea with 15. Fulham, point behind Chelsea with 15. Nottingham Forest in 15th with 13 points. Bournemouth in 16th with 12 points. Luton Town, very, very crucial win for them, in 17th with 9 points. And Sheffield United in 18th with 5 points. Everton deducted 10 points because of that 3-0 result, remained in 19th with 4 points. And Burnley, who unfortunately played well but couldn't see it through, remain bottom of the league with 4 points. So that was the weekend review. That's the weekend in a nutshell. Let me know in the comments who impressed you the most this weekend. I was impressed a lot with Burnley, and I think I was impressed a lot with Burnley's performance. I was impressed a lot with Nottingham Forest. I thought they really showed a lot of fight, and it shows that, listen, they're going to be there and about, and they're going to be fighting for every point. So it was good for Burnley. Unfortunately, they didn't get the result. Good for Luton. They got the result in the end. And yeah, it was a very, very good week. It was a very, very good, exciting weekend of Premier League football. Unless you're a Chelsea fan and a Spurs fan, because we, out of the top teams, we lost. So yeah, let me know what you think in the comments. Like, share, and subscribe. Thank you for supporting the channel, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace.